No time. You're good.
I'll do it live.
Let's go.
Fuck it. I'll do it live.
Yeah.
Never see that Bill Riley?
Yeah.
I don't think we're muted, dude.
We're unmuted.
Well, mute me. I'm not.
Okay, how about now?
He says, yeah, but we can't hear you.
Okay, hey guys.
Why can't we hear anything?
We can't hear them yet, but they can hear us.
Yeah.
All right.
I think they're muted.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
All right, they
you guys are
Okay.
muted.
All right.
So Brandon will want to unmute you when it's, as long as everybody knows that we can hear you, you can go ahead and unmute Brandon. So hey everybody, welcome all of you guys at home. We're having fun already here in Kent. We got some oldies and goodies here tonight, so it's super good energy here. Got some parents we haven't seen in a while, so it's super exciting. So welcome to all of you. And welcome all of you guys at home. So a couple announcements before we get started. Gosh, we've had a busy few days. I've been in town since Thursday. We've had an appreciation party for our volunteers for our auction last year. We had a lot of fun. We've had an auction and 2024 planning. So we're getting the ball rolling. This is officially our first year that we're literally getting started in January. We say it every year. We're going to start in January, and then it always gets pushed to March for the run for recovery. And then we finally start the auction in July. We always have the best intentions. Well, we started today on everything, so we are on it. This is our 10th anniversary year with Battlefield Addiction, and so we are motivated to make this our biggest year yet. And one of our goals is to really reach back to all the families from the beginning of time. So you guys must have just known without knowing, because the band showed up tonight and they didn't even know. I hadn't even told them this yet. But our really intention this year is to like reach back to all the families from the beginning of Battlefield times. So heads up, you guys that are still connected to people that we might not see on a regular basis. You know, their loved ones in long-term recovery, and you know they got lives and they're retired, they're going on vacations and all these things, right? So we don't see them all the time, but just let's get them all invited and get them all getting our save the dates on their calendar now. So number one, save the date is our annual, this is our 5th one this year, walk, run for recovery. And that is in May every year. It's always Mother's Day weekend. It's Saturday, May 11th. I just already know it's gonna be our biggest yet because we're rolling. It's gonna be a ton of fun. It's a big community event. We want you all there. And then the next save the date is Saturday, November 9th. Exactly, was that 10 months? 10 months from today. We actually went to Muckleshoot, checked out the location today. Can't believe it's January and we did that already. We are on it. So it's going to be our 7th annual auction, but our 10th anniversary year. It's just going to be an opportunity to tell the story of 10 years. So we really want all of our originals with us, along with their loved ones, and it's just going to be a great celebration year. So make sure those dates are on your calendar. Details will come as you know, time progresses and whatnot, but it's going to be pretty big. So also the mob tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. for all you moms at Battlefield, ladies Battlefield. Every Wednesday, we have a 1-hour coffee date together via Zoom. So from wherever you're at, please join us. If you have not joined us yet, please join us. You're in great hands with these ladies. We have a lot of fun. It's just an opportunity for us to get to know each other more, and then also talk about the topic from the night before. It's like sometimes, you know, that during the topic, we don't have time to share and share our thoughts, and sometimes we can't even process our thoughts yet. The next morning, we all get to process them together. So it's a ton of fun to be able to do that every Wednesday. So if you need the Zoom link, reach out to me or Becky, and we'll get that to you. You can join us tomorrow if you can make it. Please do. And have I missed anything, Becky?
Can't think of anything.
Okay, well, we've got our comedian back. So we're going to turn over the spotlight to our comedian. Hi, Nancy, come in. Okay, well, we missed out on him week, and we haven't gotten any comedy for a few weeks because we took a couple weeks off for the holidays. So we're a little empty of the comedy, so we need a refill. Mr. Kyle Munker's over here. He brings us Kyle's corny comedy corner.
That's
so take it away, Kyle.
So Kyle's corny comedy corner. All right.
Bring it.
All right. Discovered an interesting fact. If you were to spell the words absolutely nothing backwards, you get Nitin Yotasoba, which ironically means absolutely nothing. Something that most people don't know is actually one time I did some jokes. I told some jokes in front of people. It was at an autopsy club. Autopsy club. It was open mic night. Sorry, Mike. I had this favorite teacher growing up. Weirdly enough, her name was Miss Turtle. I mean, she was great. She toured us a lot. A friend of mine recently had a baby. Her name Kayla Spellman. She was actually in this program. She's doing good. She's had a baby, which is pretty awesome. I knew she had it in her. For those who don't know, yesterday I got 5 years clean and sober. Last week we kind of heard that it's all my credit comes to me, and I would like to think that, but that's not true. Without this program and without art, I don't know, I'd probably be dead. That being said, because of this program, everyone around me keeps telling me that, they've noticed that I've really grown as a person, or as my mom likes to call it, getting fat. So, for some reason today, Jeff thought it was a good idea to spend most of the day up on the porch crushing our pop cans. I don't know, I think it sounds so depressing. No, but because of that, he had his attention elsewhere. We actually ran out of toilet paper. Yeah, I had to start using lettuce leaves. Today was just the tip of the iceberg.
We'll let her finish.
Oh, okay, sorry, we muted. Yes, thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Better.
I wanted you to notice that Jake's here. He's a grown man almost now.
Who's there?
Jake?
He's got a deep voice.
I used to say little Jake.
Oh, Jake Campbell?
Yeah, I used to say little Jake, but he's
Oh,
grown into a little man now.
he's back from, where was it, Florida that he went for the summer?
Yeah.
This is a long story.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I remember.
We're losing money.
Okay. All right.
Ready for you. Where I'm gonna mute.
Okay. So the first thing that happened when I got sober, and well, one of the things that happened was the first question I had was how, what was this thing? What made me different than people, and what got me in this predicament of not being able to sit with things. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, the group that I did was about this realization of finding the issue inside of me and discovering that it had to do with, basically I would have to learn how to control my heart rate and how to calm down. And how to regulate myself emotionally and how to deal with pain and all that. And that was one of the missions I set out to do. But the other mission was I was going to work the steps. And I was kind of a stickler. So I was very I was very into whatever it was that I was doing, whether it was, I'm going to wait till it calms down a little bit there. It's distracting. Anyways, will you put the can back up?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work, but maybe split it with me.
Yeah.
That's better.
So usually, or you like it better when it's on gallery, so you can see
Okay.
it. And then
Oh,
don't put us on spotlight, because then it will just be us and you.
Okay. Okay.
Gallery, so you can see everybody.
That's better, I think. Yeah. And so it was very clear the first step to me. I read it and I went to a lot of meetings. I used to go to a meeting pretty much every day. And I would look up there on the wall and they would say the steps. And I had a sponsor. His name was Scott G. And Scott G was my sponsor from day 44 on. But I was very inquisitive and I looked up the steps. And the first one did say, we admitted we were powerless and our life's unmanageable. And then the second one said, we came to believe a power greater than ourselves would restore us to sanity. And when I read that, I didn't see where I even admitted that I was insane. So I went to my sponsor and I said, well, this thing says I'm insane here and I must be restored to sanity. But I had no clue what they meant. I knew I did drugs. And when I did drugs, things got sideways and I wasn't very good on drugs and I didn't function very, very well. And it led me to this powerlessness and it led me to this, like, admittedly, I lost control of everything and my life became unmanageable. But I was just very clear that just had to do with the drugs at first. I thought, simple, I'm not insane. I don't need to really be restored to sanity. What are they even talking about? Down here this week, we've been talking a lot about insanity and I've been kind of blatantly calling these guys insane, maybe even to the point of harshness where they go, I don't know what you're talking about, Art, just like I didn't. So first thing that happened is my sponsor, really, he wasn't that great. His name was Scott G. And he was just an old school AA guy. And he wasn't too articulate or clear. So his response to me when I said, what do you mean I'm insane and I need to be restored to sanity? He said, more will be revealed. And he said that whenever he didn't know the answer, I think. So he said to me, more will be revealed. And I was like, well, when am I going to know that? But soon after I met a lady named Cindy Brown and I said, Cindy, why does it say that we're insane? And why does it say that we need to be restored to sanity? What is insane about me? I'm not doing drugs. What is it that makes me insane? And she goes, you have something. And I said, what do you mean? I have something. And she goes, well, you have something like a disease. She called it a disease. She said it was a disease. I said, what is this disease I have? If I have a disease, what is a disease? And the way that she said it was, she says, you have the justification and rationalization system that allows you to continue to use drugs regardless of consequences. See, you have that. And when she said it, I realized I do have that. She said, you have the justification and rationalization system that allows you to continue to use drugs regardless of consequences. But still, to me, I thought, okay, I can see that. I can see how no matter what the consequence was in front of me, it didn't matter. I had a way of just justifying it in my head to go about my business and keep doing it. And if the judge says I was going to go to jail, if I used one more time, I was pretty sure I could talk him out of it. And I always believed that I could talk my way out of any consequences and the consequences wouldn't happen to me. And if my teeth were getting messed up, I could just look in the mirror and say, I'll get new teeth later. And if I didn't have any money, it was fine. Like none of the consequences mattered. And I had a way to rationalize it every time before I used. I used to say, I had a phrase that I would say to myself, well, I'm going to get some drugs and figure it out. That was just what I did. So if there was a problem in my life, I always just said to myself, I just need to get some drugs and then I can figure this problem out. But I need drugs first because I'm feeling sick or I'm feeling whatever. And I just had this system that allowed me to continue to use drugs regardless of consequences. And she said, but you're insane, even when you're not using drugs. And I still didn't know why. So I said, what do you mean? And she goes, well, now look. And start looking at how the system works in the rest of the areas of your life. So the question she asked me, she goes, I'm just going to ask you one question. I didn't have much guidance when I was in early sobriety, but Cindy was a guidance. And she asked me one question. She said, How does a human being end up with a life they don't want? And I went, I got to think about that. And so how is it that if I'm driving in a car or I would end up in a ditch, how did I get there? How if she goes, imagine, and she said this to me, she said, imagine if you were 13 and I popped in the DVD and I said, Art, little Art, this is what you're going to be when you're 37. She goes, you would look at that DVD, watch the tape and go, how the hell did I get there? No way that's me. I'm not a liar. I'm not a thief. I'm not a person who doesn't keep my word. I'm not a person who would end up in my car homeless. I would never be sucking on a crack pipe on the day of the Super Bowl. That's not me. I'd be watching football. But see, the insanity, what it was an incremental, slow, gradual descent into insanity through rationalization. Through my inability to handle pain, I had to rationalize pleasure over pain in every aspect of my life. And so when I came to get sober, she said, what you need to do now is you need to see the system play in your regular life. She said, you have it in all areas of your life. She said, you look at the unmanageability. See, the unmanageability in our life comes from our ability to justify and rationalize our behavior. You know, and then she said, now there are normal people. You see, I have a wife, Angie, and Angie is a normal person. What that means is that she doesn't have the system in play. Like when you all go to make your bed, you have the system in play, and your head says there's a way out of this. Your head says this might not be the right thing to do. Not Angie. She just makes her bed. So she's able to function like a normal human because she has no way to rationalize pleasurable behavior over painful behavior all day. She doesn't have the system. She doesn't have the justification and rationalization system that allows her to continue to do X regardless of consequences. So she said, see, it's not just drug addicts that have this. So just because you're not a drug addict does not mean you're a normal person. See, you might be an adulterer. You might be somebody who cheats on your wife. Well, if you are, you have the disease of adultery. You have the justification and rationalization system that allows you to continue to cheat regardless of consequences. You might be an overeater. Then you have the justification and rationalization system that allows you to continue to eat regardless of consequences. You might be a smoker. And you might have the justification and rationalization system that allows you to continue to smoke regardless of consequences. You might be a gambler. You have the justification and rationalization system that allows you to continue to go broke regardless of consequences. In fact, you might be a shopaholic. You might be a workaholic. You might be anything. So you might have it. So when you look at your life, you look at the areas of your life in which you have it. These are the areas in which you're insane. This is the insanity. The insanity is to do a behavior that's going to lead to a worse life, that's going to lead to worse health, that's going to lead to these things and be able to rationalize doing it. That's how we get insane. That's the start. See? So this insanity now comes when we put all the drug addicts in a house together and we actually have a conversation about why it's good to make your bed. And we have to have it like it's logical. We have to like sit down and like talk to you like it's a good idea to make your bed. And there is actually in this house arguments against it. And if we say it's a good idea to clean the kitchen afterwards and not leave pans soaking in the thing, there will be arguments against it. So almost every form of behavior, whether it's to take a shower when you wake up, if I tell people it is better to take a shower when you wake up here, we will get arguments against it. It's better to be clean and take a shower every day. We will get arguments against it here because that's painful. That's hard. It's better to not eat Uber Eats when you're broke. No, you got disease, man. You justify and rationalize getting Uber Eats when you're broke. On and on and on. And so when I say I live in the insanity, we live in the insanity of each other's rationalizations. So now every week people come on and they say, how do I help? Well, the first thing you need to know is this. If you're going to help somebody that has a disease of rationalization, logic and reason are the enemy. So when I start, by the way, parents, this is for you guys. When I start introducing more logic and reason into this house, I start becoming the enemy of this house. I start becoming not liked. The more logic and reason and they can all tune out right now. The more logic and reason I try to bring forth, the more hated I am. The more I become the enemy, the more I am mean. And I will be saying completely factual and logical things, and I will be the enemy. In fact, I will be a dick. And if I say, this is better for your life, they will disagree, and they will argue with me, and they will tell me why doing a bad thing is better for their life. And the more I participate, so the more I participate in the rationalizations, the more I'm like, yes, it's better to stay up tonight till 10:45, 11:45 and watch a movie. Yes, it's better. Yes. So the more I say yes, the more I'm liked. And the more I say no, the more I'm disliked. And so now parents tune in and they say, how do I help? Well, here's how you help. Don't bring logic and reason. You're not ready for that. So now any of the people that have brought logic and reason to this thing end up being what I call the haters. The people that get so angry they have to turn the other way. If you've happened to, in this room, if you happen to have a parent that believes in logic and reason, I want you to note that they're your enemy. I want you to note that if you know the most logical and reasonable people in your life, the people that got it together, the people that do the right thing all day, the people that have money in the bank, the people that have an 800 credit score, they're not your friend. You're mad at them. You're mad at them because they told you the truth and they didn't do it nice and they didn't participate. So what does a good codependent do? See, a codependent, someone that's liked by the drug addict, somebody that's liked by somebody with the disease, well, they participate in the rationalizations. They participate in the blame. They participate. Why has our society got where it's at with addiction? Because logic and reason is now out the window in Seattle. And see, a drug addict, somebody involved in the disease with the justification and rationalization system will turn away anyone with logic and reason. We'll push them away. We'll not allow them to come close. And only let in people who participate in the rationalizations for their drug use. Only let in people that will participate the rationalizations for bad behavior. Only let in people that will come in and participate in the insanity. Yeah, it's not your fault that you drink. You've been through trauma. It's not your fault you use. You've been through trauma. I understand. I see you had a bad childhood. That's why you use drugs. Anyone that will go along with the excuse gets to participate. But if you bring logic and reason, you're mean and you're not able to qualify. So now in Seattle, you'll see the only people that can talk to those people is people that don't tell them the truth. The only people that can go approach people in Seattle is people that will participate in their delusions, participate in their justification and rationalization system that allows them to continue to use regardless of consequences. So here we are. I sit in the middle of the insanity. And what is my job? Now you want to know how do you help? Well, you can't help with logic and reason, and you can't participate. A good codependent has to stop participating in the excuses and the reasoning. So now, and that's why you're mad, you see? And if you're a husband and believes in logic and reason and your wife participates and enables, the reason you're mad at her is because she falls for the rationalizations and you don't fall for the rationalizations. You don't fall for the excuses and she does. So now there's a war in the family because someone's falling for the rationalizations and somebody's falling for the excuses. And then somebody over here is saying, no, logic and reason, that's never going to work. You can't do that for them. But see, neither parent is able to help. Because logic and reason is the enemy and you don't understand. And if you don't participate and enable me, you just don't get it. You see, or you get it. So then you bring people in, but now how do I help? So now I have to do this trick where I have to go down and I have to participate. I have to go to each of you and say, I understand and I've been there and I know what rationalization feels like and looks like. I have to come in there and I have to gain your trust so that I can possibly give you logic and reason. So I have to come here and I have to say, listen, if you trust me enough, I can say something logical and something factual and you won't hate me. But only after you trust me enough. A lot of drug addicts will tell you, no, nobody that's not a drug addict can help me. That's right. Because the people that aren't drug addicts won't participate in your disease unless they're real sick and they're saviors and heroic. See, so a good codependent is heroic and they're a savior. And a good codependent will listen to you when you tell them things aren't your fault. And a good codependent will say, oh man, that sucks. And a good codependent will do for you what you can't do for yourself. And then you get to hang out. You get to be there. But you can't help. See, the thing about the person who's participating in the delusions, they're not helping. The person that's participating in the rationalizations, they're not helping. And the thing about a person who's bringing logic and reason, they're not helping. You can't help somebody with logic and reason. People with logic and reason think they're so smart. They come in and they go, just do it like I do it. And they can't understand. They're always clueless. How could you do that to yourself? How could you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you use drugs? They always have so many stupid questions. What do you mean, why am I using drugs? Why are you fat? Same reason. Because you justify your eating and I justify my drugs. So you better be disease-free if you're going to come with logic and reason. You better not have any area of your life where you're justifying and rationalizing your bullshit, because the drug addict's going to knife you up. They're going to say, you're sitting here smoking a cigarette telling me about justifying and rationalizing my behavior? You know how clean you got to be to approach a drug addict with logic and reason and not get yelled at? So all these guys here, look at me. You're all wondering why you're insane. You got it. You walk to the sink. You get done eating. You want to put your bowl in there and leave. And the system that you have says there's no good reason to wash that bowl. And the system you have says there's no good reason to fold that laundry when I take it out of the thing. There is no good reason. Leave it in the thing. Don't do my laundry. Leave my dishes on the thing. Don't wipe my dresser down. Don't do my laundry today. Sit around. Look at your phone. Look at your phone. Look at your phone. You have to have a system in place that allows you to have the condition of your life suck and spend 9 hours on your phone. You got to have a disease. You have it. See, the thing about me was I just recognized I have it. And I don't just have it when it pertains to drugs. I have it today. I have the disease today, the one that Angie doesn't have. She's normal. She don't excuse herself of cleaning up after herself. I do. She don't look at the sign that says no left turn and turn left like me. She don't look at the sign that says no parking and park there. She don't hear don't vape in the house and then vapes in the house. She hears a rule and follows it. You all don't. You hear a rule and say, that don't apply to me. And that's not because you're bad. It's because you have it. It's because at some age, we developed it. See, we're the type of people that didn't do our homework, don't you know? We're the type of people that said, the paper is due 3 weeks from now. And we said, that means I have to do it 3 weeks from now. That's the type of people we are. That's what we got. We're the people that said, don't go to the dentist. It's not necessary. Somebody will buy us new teeth later. And so the dentist said, every 6 months you need to go. We said, no, I don't need that. That's stupid. What do I need teeth for? We have it. You have it. It's in play today. If you don't spot it, you can't get better. And so the gradual progression to getting better is less rationalizations, less blame, more reality, more facts, handling the facts about yourself, handling the fact that your life is unmanageable. In order to manage it, the reason it's unmanageable is because I keep rationalizing away the hard things that I need to do. That when I need to make a phone call, it takes me 9 days. That when I need to do hard things, I'd rather look at my phone and sit and fall asleep and nod off. That it's hard for me to do hard things. That when Art says chore time, my brain says, get lost and hide. When Art says it's time to clean up, I look around and go, no, somebody else should do it. I have that. I have it to this day. And I can directly line up next to Angie and see the way she conducts her life and the way I conduct my life and go, no, she's normal. And by normal, I mean an ability to function every day, just like a motor. Compared to me. And without her, I don't know. See? Because this thing starts working. And I can rationalize anything. I'm a master. I can rationalize not doing an ounce of work around here. Why? Because it's your opportunity. I can rationalize anything. I have it. And I had it when it pertains to everything. I have it when it pertains to money. I have it when it pertains to gambling. I have it when it pertains to food. I have it when it pertains to women. I have it. That's what I have. I have a justification and rationalization system that allows me to continue to do things regardless of consequences. Hence, I can't get my shit together with my weight. Because I have it. It's not my fault that I eat cookies in the middle of the night. Do you know why? Because the dogs need to go out and they wake me. And if the damn dogs didn't wake me and make me go downstairs, I wouldn't eat the cookies. You see? It ain't my fault. Angie got the dogs. We can trace it right back to her. Shit, in fact, actually, it's Barkley. Barkley causes me to eat cookies because he had babies and the babies are in my room and they need to go out. What an asshole Barkley is. There is nothing I can't rationalize away. You try to tell me something's my fault. I got a system in place that tells you it's your fault right away. You can't touch me with a glove. And every parent on there knows what they're facing. They're facing the system. So they go and they approach their kid and they face every excuse, every rationalization. They get blamed. And a person with logic and reason dares to talk. What are you with logic and reason? A nag. Well, there you go. When somebody tells me logic and reason, I'm trying to lose weight, and somebody approaches me with logic and reason, you know what you should do, Art? You should have a salad and go to the gym. What an idiot. What an idiot. They don't get it. They don't understand. They can't help me. I need somebody that was 400 pounds tell me what to do. How'd you do it? And then he better have all the qualifications. Well, I see you're 200 pounds and fit, but did you live in a recovery house like me? No? Then you can't tell me. It ain't my fault. The insanity comes, we lose. How did you get where you don't know where your toothbrush is? There, you're insane. You got to a place on this planet where you didn't even have a toothbrush. You're insane. You got to a place on this planet where you decided to give your phone away in order to get drugs, and then you couldn't call your drug dealer for any drugs because you didn't have your phone. You're insane. You decided that a new pair of shoes that you just got would trade for dope and you would go barefoot. You're insane. And you rationalized all that shit. And you had the rent money, but you spent it and you said, my landlord's not going to pull the trigger. And then you got evicted. So how does a human being end up with a life they don't want? Through seeking pain, through seeking pleasure and avoiding pain at every crossroad. That's how you end up with a life you don't want. By all day, every day, you're faced with hard decisions and easy ones, and take the easy one all day, every day, until you have a life you don't want. And how do you get back to a life you want? You stop rationalizing away the hard choice. One by one, by one, by one. And how does a person who's a codependent help? And how does a person with logic? Well, a person with logic reason starts looking and start understanding their own rationalizations so they can get it. They start understanding the things that they rationalize. They start understanding the things that they've done wrong. Finding some compassion and saying, yeah, I'm not perfect. I understand. That's how a person with logic, reason can begin to help. You get rid of your righteousness and you start saying, I get it, because over here I struggle with this and my mind does that same thing. And I can see why when you're in pain, your mind chooses drugs. I can see it. And so I can find some compassion for you and we can have some common ground and I can talk about the areas that I'm flawed. And I can start acting like I know I'm flawed and I get it. I can start understanding. And how does a person that's an enabler and a codependent begin to help? Well, they toughen up. They actually stop listening to their own brain rationalize. See, in order to be a codependent and help somebody when you're not helping, when the condition of their life is getting worse and you continue to help, you have to be rationalizing that you're not, you have to be rationalizing away the fact that you're not helping. If you said you were going to go out and help somebody change their tire, and when you were done, they had 4 flat tires, you did not help. So you want to know if you're helping or not? Look at the condition of the person's life. Is it improving or not? If the answer is no, you're not helping. So 100% of every person that says they're helping the homeless in Seattle is lying to themselves. They haven't helped. It went from 3,000 homeless to 17,000. And you tell me your job is to help the homeless. You didn't get it done. And if I look around and see the condition of your guys' lives getting worse and I say I'm helping, I'm not. I'm enabling. I'm allowing. I'm rationalizing, not doing the work. And what is the work? Compassionately tell you truth. Compassionately call you insane. Compassionately show you your rationalization. Say, please trust me enough to know that you're insane. Please, I beg you. I beg you to just listen to me and follow my voice, because your voice lies to you and mine don't. So listen to me. Because if you don't know after all this years that your voice in your head is lying to you, then you still haven't figured out your disease. You still haven't figured it out. You still haven't figured out, and your life's still going to end up places you don't want it to go. And although I have a problem still rationalizing, it's been 13 years since my life has ended up anywhere but where I wanted it to be. And I find that miraculous. But it doesn't ever end up, I don't end up in a courtroom. I don't end up on the side of the road with a flat tire. I don't end up stuck in a parking lot. I don't end up losing a job. I don't end up homeless. I don't end up in debt. I don't end up with a 600 credit score saying I don't know what happened. I don't end up with credit card debt. I don't end up anywhere. And there's one cause of that: understanding and spotting my own rationalizations and then combating my disease. And all of a sudden now you gain power, manageability, and sanity. And see, that's what they meant. I didn't really have a sponsor that could articulate it to me, but that's what was meant. And you ask your family, how did we get to where we're at? How does a parent get to the place where he's driving to Aurora and bringing his kid money for heroin? There is not one parent that would have ever told me when their kid was 2 that they were going to be driving to Aurora and giving their kid money for heroin so he's okay. You know how many parents have a kid using fentanyl? And I've talked to that day and they said, yeah, but I got to help him because I don't want him to get any worse. I said, what would be worse? What is worse than smoking fentanyl? And they actually have an answer like, well, it'd be worse if he was outside. No, it'd be better. Because then when he hits the ground, somebody can find him. So you're still lying to yourself. So people are rationalizing everything, and you're sick because they're sick. Might have started before though, see? My mom started taking my pain away long before drugs did. She was codependent on me way before the drugs. She believed all my bullshit from the time I was 12. Yeah, Mom, I'm just going to go study at my friend's house on a school night. I'll go to bed early. I was lying. But she believed my bullshit and we played along in the insanity, and that's how my life ended up where it ended up. She didn't have the heart to call me insane and tell me the truth, because I had made her feel too shitty about herself if she did that. And I knew how to make my mom feel shitty about herself. So if she tried to govern me or have any rules that went against my system, don't challenge this system, Mom. I'll make you feel bad about yourself. Don't challenge this system, Mom. I'll make you feel like a piece of shit, Mom. I'll tell you you're a bad mom. So don't challenge this system that I got. Don't try to bring logic and facts like I need to go to bed and it's better for me. Don't bring that bullshit around me. I'll crush you like a bug. Make you feel like a bad mom. My mom had no defense. It was checkmate. Poor lady couldn't do nothing. I had a system. And it said pleasure over pain, and you're not going to stop me. And if it's homework or go out with my friends, it is go out with my friends. I don't care what happens. So I got to college and I was just done. Not a chance I was making it through college because I had a system in place. Do everything that's fun and nothing that's painful. Slowly by slowly, your life's unmanageable and you're living in a land of delusion. And you got to blame everyone else because you look so shitty for it. So now you start blaming everyone for the condition of your life because who could swallow all the pain of it being their fault? No way I could have screwed up my life like this. No way. Somebody else had to participate. Nah, you did it all on your own. Nobody participated. And we just keep doing it. We just keep doing it for the drug addicts. We just keep giving them more excuses. We just keep telling them more and more it's not their fault. Like that's going to help. Now you're giving them more rationalizations. I never heard the word self-medicating until I got into the treatment business. Oh, he's not getting high. He's self-medicating. Well, shit. Bring me some more crack. I'm going to self-medicate. They started calling it self-medicating. I was like, well, shit. That guy's doing himself a favor. Fuck. He's self-medicating. Nice. Nice. Guys, get his PhD. You see? That's a good thing to call it. Oh, don't blame him. He's not getting high. He's self-medicating. Then they came out. Gabor Mate did two things. He came out and he said it's all because of trauma. And then everyone said, not mine. I use drugs because of my trauma. And when you trigger me, don't trigger me. You trigger me, I'm going to use drugs. And then everyone started getting on eggshells. Well, I can't trigger them. Oh, shit. And now we had it again. Our system had another thing to say to people. Back off. Don't trigger me. That wasn't helpful. And then he came out recently, he wrote a book called The Myth of Normal. Well, you don't know my sister. Because she graduated from UW. She's carried a family of 4. She owns her own home. She owns her own second home. She gets up every day and does the right thing all day, every day. She's never cheated on her husband. She doesn't use drugs. I don't know if it's a myth, but she's pretty damn normal. And it led to a pretty good life. She gets to go on vacation all the time. She's about to retire. But he says it's a myth. Okay? She just doesn't rationalize. Not in the sick way we do. Her biggest rationalization is like, I had 4 beers on Friday night. Maybe went too far. But that don't get you in the harm that we get into. That don't have your life ending up with no home. And there's parents on here sitting in foreign countries, retired, that didn't rationalize. Retired from Boeing, lake homes, didn't rationalize. They don't got it. When it's mow the lawn or go out with my friends, they mowed the lawn. When I can't go out to the movies because I don't have the money, they didn't go. Not us. Got $40 left in the bank. You guys are all going to Red Robin. Me too. I'm on it. What are you gonna do tomorrow with no money? Don't know. don't know. I have a friend, he comes to me and he says, I'm a great poker player. I said, all right, Flex, I'll play along. What do you need? Well, I need money. Well, don't great poker players make money? Well, yeah. Well, why don't you have any money? See, he doesn't like me now. I'm the enemy. Come on, man, just give me the money. Then I give him the money and he loses. It's like someone coming to me and saying, I'm a tremendous truck driver. Can I borrow your truck? Well, a tremendous truck driver needs a truck, just like a good poker player needs some money. But the casinos over on the strip, they're built because everybody rationalizes their loss. That's how they're built, right? Travis told us today he saw a printout and he works at the Cosmopolitan. He's a security guard. He says there's the guy told him that there's 2 people that won last year. 2 people that are ahead. 2.
Yeah, not in the negative.
2 that weren't negative on their player card. 2. There's probably over 5 million people that went there.
3,000 people a day.
3,000 people a day. 2 people won last year. But they'll go home and somebody will tell their wife they're good at slots. You see, we have a system in play. It's how a family gets sick. We get sick through rationalization. We get sick through justifying our behavior. The codependent gets sick because they play along. The person with logic reason doesn't play along. They usually bow out very shortly after the addiction starts. They bow out. They say, I'm done. Tell them to call me when they got 6 months. It's because logic and reason have no place in this system. The system won't allow for it. It'll obliterate logic and reason because the system operates on emotion and pain and pleasure. It doesn't operate on facts. All my enablers somehow believed I had a payday coming when I didn't have a job. Just a bunch of people that I was going to pay back on payday, and then none of them ever asked me, how come I don't have a job? See, I needed people to participate. I'll pay you back. Art, you don't have a job and you already owe me $8,000. Yeah, but we're not serious here. So that should spawn some questions, comments. Sorry, it's a little therapy for me too. I live in the middle of it. All day, rationalizations, pain or pleasure. Yes, yes, no, no, please, please let me hurt myself. Please let me hurt myself. Please let me do something bad for myself. Please let me do, no, 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 please. Please. TV, can we watch TV? Can we stare at our phones? No, no, please. I get to be in the middle of it. Can we sleep? Can we sleep more? Can we lay in our bed more? Can we not make our beds? Can we not clean our room? Clean your room. I'm done. It's been 30 seconds. Yeah, I know I'm done. Do your chore. It's been 8 seconds. I'm done. Don't look done. Well, okay. So sometimes I need a little therapy. Because I got my own insanities and my own rationalizations. But we start living by logic and facts eventually. We stop saying we're helping and nothing's getting better. You call battlefield. Obviously, I'm not helping. Come to my senses. But I'm a good codependent too. Just learning. I want to participate in all the delusions and make people think it's going to happen. Sure, you're going to have your own business in 2 months. Yeah, I believe in you, buddy. If I bring logic and reason, they say, Art, you're so negative. You don't believe in it? Well. There's a thin line between negativity and reality. And a lot of times they call reality negativity. Someone with a 400 credit score telling me they're going to have their own place this year. I'm sorry, I got to tell you the truth. It's not me being negative. I'm just trying to give you a little dose of reality. I'm going to tell you what the apartment place is going to tell you. No, the guy on TikTok said, don't believe your haters. Well, that's what you were doing. And our phones made it worse. Our phone has made it worse. It's made it way harder to, it's made it way easier to rationalize away things. It's given us more rationalizations because we want to stare at that phone rather than do a lot of shit. Almost nothing sounds better to do than look at our phones. Nothing. Clean your shoes, organize your drawer. Remember being an 8-year-old kid and not having any TV for a while and having that getting taken away. And I remember cleaning out my drawers as an 8-year-old. And I actually look back and go, God, I had the patience to do that? I was an 8-year-old kid and I took everything out of all my drawers, wiped the drawers down and placed everything back in, organized and gently. And I thought, Jesus, I can't do that now. I got to look at my phone. I can't organize my drawers and fold all my socks. That's crazy. Angie asked me the other day, I folded up all our laundry. I had 2 baskets of laundry and I folded up the laundry. And then I texted her and say, I just got done folding the laundry. And she typed, LOL, why would you tell me that? And I didn't have the heart to say the real reason because I'm proud of myself. I haven't done it and I'm proud of myself. And I want you to know that I had the patience and the time off my phone to sit there and fold my clothes. Yeah. And I was very proud of myself. And to this day, I'm still proud of myself when I make the bed. I'm still proud of myself when I actually see the toothpaste that I splattered all over the mirror and wipe it myself. And a lot of times I look up there and there's no toothpaste and I'm like, how did that get off there? Somebody else must have cleaned up after me. And I'm still proud of myself when I keep my car clean. I'm still proud of myself when I take the garbage, my dishes and I put them in the dishwasher when I'm done. I'm still proud of myself for that. You know, I'm not really proud of myself for buying a bunch of houses or anything. I'm not. I'm still proud of myself that I can fold the clothes. Because I have a disease of rationalization and justification that allows me to pick pleasure over pain all the time. And I'm proud of myself when I fight it. And I was a kid that couldn't sit still, and I did this with my hands, and they told me I had ADD and I needed to take medication, and I bounced around and I couldn't sit still. And so the biggest thing I'm proud of today is I can sit still. And I can defend against this thing that's telling me I need to get up and I need to go do something and I need to hurry and then I need to find pleasure and I need to stimulate and I need all that. And that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud that I fight my disease, the justification and rationalization system that allows me to continue to do whatever regardless of consequences. And today I don't. Today I don't end up anywhere. I don't end up anywhere but where I want to be. And I'm never going back to that courtroom. And I'm never going back to that look at a woman's eyes that I've failed. And I'm not looking in my wife Angie's eyes and have her look at me like, what did you just rationalize? Why did you do that? Because that hurts people. And I'm not going to lose all my money gambling because I walk out. And I know my brain's lying to me if it says keep going. You're having a good day, you'll get it back. No, I've been here before. It's time to cut your losses and get out of here. And if I do run out of money, I'm not going to order Uber Eats rather than go to work. I'm going to go to work and make more money so I don't have to worry about money because I know what to do when you're broke. You just go make more money. Thing is when you're broke, you go make money, you don't order pizza. I know that now. But for a long time, I didn't know that. I thought when you were broke, you ordered pizza. That's what my brain told me to do. I remember, see, and I had a great father because I came home at 3 months sober and I go, Dad, guess what? And he goes, what? And I go, I think I'm going to Clean and Free this weekend. And he goes, what's that? Well, it's a thing over in Ocean Shores. A lot of recovering addicts are going over to Clean and Free and they're going to ride the mopeds and go on the beach. And my dad looked at me and he goes, you mean a vacation? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you don't have a job. What the hell would a guy with no job go on vacation for? And whose money were you going to take? Were you coming here to tell me that you need some of my money to go on a vacation? And I went, yeah, kind of. And he goes, no, get a job. And he was my enemy at the time. But he was loving me. But see, to me, who's this guy bringing logic and reason? What a prick. He's supposed to just let me go and give me some money and let me go have fun. But he wasn't my codependent anymore. So I went to work. My dad helped fight my system. He said, I'll help you fight it, son. When you're done cooking breakfast, get in there and clean the kitchen. And I had to defer to him. That's what surrendering is. Surrendering is when you say, I can no longer fight my own rationalization system. Surrendering is when you acknowledge that it will win every time. That literally I cannot conduct my day because when this thing in my head has a choice between pain or pleasure, it will choose pleasure every time, and I can't get myself out of this rut. And so I give up. Someone else tell me how to live. Someone else tell me how to walk through today. Because at every step of the way, this thing wants to go back, lay in my bed, look at my phone, justify it, rationalize it. And I can't fight it anymore. So I give up. Now you, please, tell me how to live and what the next right thing is. And that's what the program is. And then people leave and they get to the house and then they don't see it working again. And so deterioration, more rationalization, worse condition of life, going back down. They end up calling me and saying, hey, Art, don't have rent. Don't have it. Well, what'd you do? Well, I ordered Uber Eats. I went to the casino. I called in sick and I looked at my phone. Well, you got it still. You got a disease still. You better fix that. Or your life is going to be ending up a lot of different places. Places you don't want it to be. People that get married got it. Till death do us part? Really? Really? Marriage is temporary. Divorce is forever. See? Well, maybe not. Somebody will even go back on a divorce. Who knows? It's all temporary. All right. Any questions, comments, excitement? Anyone got a disease? You know? Rationalization.
Let's open it up. I don't know what's out there at home, but all you got to do is use the raise your hand feature on your device. Get Brandon's attention. He'll see you, get you unmuted. Anybody here? Comments, questions,
That
thoughts?
was an action on my phone. I thought someone was going to be calling in. I wish I had a radio show just so I could say, someone, yeah, callers, just so someone could go, first time caller, long time listener. I want to hear that, you know?
Dude, if you start a radio show, I'll call.
Yeah, call in. Where you calling from? Houston, Texas. Go ahead.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of your show, Art. I like when the person goes, I'll take my answer off the air. I like that one too. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would ruin it. And then they go, I just wanted to say, Art, I love that Kyle Munkers. No. You don't know him.
You know.
Oh shit. We're having fun down here. It's insane down here. It's insane, baby. Woo. Everyone's got their hair on fire. You know? Hey, Art, can I do something to screw up my life? Sure. All right. Art said I could.
My favorite is, you can go do something. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yes.
Thanks, Art.
Cassie's raising her hand.
Oh, Cassie's raising her hand, and we need to see a pan of the room in Vegas.
It's the same old crew.
Their parents love a glimpse.
Oh God.
How do you do it?
Their parents don't love a glance. Their codependents love a glance.
Cassie,
I just wanted to say thank you for saving my life.
Oh, nice to see you, Cassie. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. You still in a good place?
Oh yeah, yeah.
All right.
Lots of AA, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
we can tell from here that Cassie's in a good place. Good to see.
Yeah.
Thank you. You ditto.
Yeah.
We got another question back here.
Question back here. Thank you.
Just a comment. Art, stop holding the mirror up to me. So
Yeah.
I can face the fact that, because everything you said, is, oh, wow. It's painful, true.
Yeah. Well, this is the trick of helping people. No matter who we're going to help, we can't help them with logic and reason, and we can't tell them how they should be, and we can't tell them. We have to understand emotion and pain and pleasure to help people. And we've got to be able to connect with people on a different level other than logic and reason so that we can guide them out. But to be able to if I just approach these guys with logic, reason, and not understand the rationalization process and not get into how I'm rationalizing every day still, then how do we even talk on the same plane? How do we talk about, anything? I mean, I get it. Almost anything, I get it. I can get any form of bad behavior. I completely understand all of it because I've done it all, and I can rationalize my behavior in any way. And I know logic and reason is the answer, but it can only be handled in small doses when you've done what we've done to our lives. Taking on a big pill of reality sometimes is just off-putting. It's tough. So we get better by just lessening the disease. We get better by less justifications, less rationalizations, to the point when they all go away and find yourself fully responsible for your life and the management of it. But that's what'll change. Less blame, less justification, less rationalization. All of a sudden, you'll stop ending up places. You'll have a manageable life. You'll take on what you can do, leave the rest, say no a lot. Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, that's a really good conversation you're having tonight. I don't know that I can articulate this well, but I was kind of thinking, I'm retired, so I have less goals than I used to. I kind of achieved my goals. So I find myself, like you're saying, I thought I called it procrastination, but you're right, it's rationalization. And without those strong goals and the pain and pleasure of the strong goal, you see some pleasure ahead. It may not be immediate versus the short-term goal. I think if we have a good goal that we can see pleasure in the future, it may help us not rationalize the bad behavior. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like but there's two hands in that. So if you unpack that, like for these kids, if you understood how bad one could feel currently. So you first got to understand how bad one could feel currently, and then understand if the goal is out there and I'm going to finally get pleasure out there, that the way I feel now might not be able to withstand that duration of time until that pleasure.
Correct.
So now you've got to mitigate how I feel today and get better and better every day with one hand, more ability, more or less. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to try to just put it all out long term is too much. I need to mitigate the current pain with some pleasure, along the way. And so that's kind of my job here is like mitigate, understanding that all pain today will lead to leaving, relapse, whatever it leads to. And they have to learn to mitigate that pain to withstand, to ever get to the point where they're making long-term goals. But it's not easy.
So it's kind of a blend between a short-term pleasure
That's right.
situation and a long-term pleasure goal. You got to blend a little bit so you don't just deny yourself.
That's right. And you got to get better in the meanwhile with one hand and then reach for those goals with the other. But you got to keep this hand close so you can keep yourself safe. And, until, for now, after 13 years that I'm coming up on sobriety, now I can go, well, this whole week's going to suck, or this whole week's going to be difficult. And I'm able to swallow that the whole week's going to be difficult. But I'm so excited because after this week, and in fact, these are actually the best times of my life. When I have a real difficult week followed by a long-term goal that I can't wait to get to. It's like, that's when it's the best, when you're going to work really hard and then go on vacation. I just seen a kid that just started working down here, Justin. He just got his job, and him and Kate go to work, and they're working long hours, and they work from like 8 a.m. till 7:30. And then to see them wake up on a Saturday and have the day off. It's like one of the biggest joys here is to watch these guys that haven't worked in years have a job and then be excited about their day off. And then watch them on their day off clean their car, get their hair cut, do their laundry. It's like, whoa, that's like the pinnacle of life, It's crazy, but that's the little things that give me, to see it and go, now you're going to make it. And then we got other kids that can just barely handle getting to work every day and looking at their phone. And the rest of their life's kind of falling apart. And that's just because their systems might be a little stronger than others. But it's all cool to watch along with insane. And I say things like, you should clean your car and make your bed and not stay up till 5. And then I'm a nag, I'm like that nagging mother. Hey, 13 hours on your phone yesterday. Not a great idea. What the hell do I know? But I call them, it's like I call the disease, the system that we have, this rationalization system, it's the most powerful form of erosion there is. It just erodes. It'll erode anything around it. So when someone has that system in place and it's strong, it just keeps pushing back the walls until eventually that thing just gets exactly what it wants all day and no one touches it. and it's just allowed. And it'll erode and erode and erode. Like if I left this house and Angie left this house, you know, I'm sorry to say this, but we would come back a year later and there would be no house. It would just be a complete erosion of behavior until there would be one person left doing drugs in here on their phone, and the walls would be falling down, and there would be no food in the fridge, and maybe it not be one person, it might be a whole homeless encampment. And that's just going to be one rationalization along, one pleasure choice over pain, one pleasure choice over pain, one pleasure choice over pain, until it erodes it all the way to just total allowance. And that's why when they asked me years ago, somebody came and asked me what to do about Seattle, and I said, let them have it. It's over. Put a fence around the city, let them have it, and move the city. It's over. You're not going to stop that. There's no money. You let it get too out of hand. There's not enough money to solve it. You're done. You've set a precedent. You've allowed it. Once the first person started peeing on the street, it was over. Once you said you can't touch people that steal, over. Done. Every drug addict in this room knows it.
Yeah.
They know it's coming. They know it. And they got it because of the enablers. They got it because somebody participated in our rationalizations. They participated why it was all right for us to do drugs. They participated in that. They gave us an excuse. And once you give me an excuse, you're burnt. I got your house. I'll own everything you have. Once you tell me it's okay to use drugs, I'm going to own your house. That's all there is to it. You don't live here no more. Sorry. You tell one homeless drug addict to walk in this house and they got a room, 10 will be here tomorrow and we're done. Come on, guys. He said we live here now. And the only thing to do is get a pistol and fight your way back. You ain't. You might as well move. You better be damn good. So that's what we're up against. 5 houses of people, 5 houses of systems in place. Until they take over the battling of their own system, we have to do it for them. So you just do it until you can't do it anymore, and erosion happens, and then you push back, and erosion happens, and you push back. And then the parent calls and says, why is my kid still doing this? Erosion. There's not enough of me. There's not enough of Ange. There's not enough of a manager. There's not enough of Max. There's not enough. Takes constant marine-like pressure. And then you become a nag, so that doesn't work. Woo!
Let it out.
Any clarity on what's going on? Make your checks payable to Rebuild Recovery. Send more money, please. Help fight the erosion.
Bundle has a
Yeah.
there you go, another bundle.
Send cookies.
He's on.
I did.
Yeah. Well, you also sent me that stupid fitness book in either. You nag. Yeah. Trying to bring logic and reason to my bullshit. I told you about all that. Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
So,
you did try.
With the team, the crew that you have there and at the other house, we are this last few weeks have been interesting with Doug's mom. We've moved her. We were able to get her. Kind of a little catastrophe happened, so we were able to move her into a assisted living. And kind of a word that we use right now is lucidity, because some days, some moments, she's very lucid and not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other day then other times she's kind of happy she's there. So kind of my question is to the crew, because I'm sure that there are moments of lucidity there with
When I'm
everybody.
lucid, yeah, there's
Well,
days.
yeah. And maybe occasionally with your insane people. But for them to hear you say what you've just said, like if you were to leave the house, it wouldn't be standing when you got back.
They know it too.
How did, yeah.
They know it too.
I mean, I don't know. Is that hard to hear that, you know, that the house would be not standing, or is it's our reality and that's what we're working through?
No, there's a deeper understanding that we all have. There's a deeper understanding that no matter what they say about this place or me, they know they need it. And they know. And they might deny it and they might fight it and they might try to rationalize not doing it. But they just know. And people just know what they need. Just like I knew no matter how bad I fought my dad, I knew he was right. I can get mad in the moment and I can have a hard time hearing it, but you just know this is what we need.
Good.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone here has a problem with it. I don't even think any of us have a problem getting called insane. We are. It gives us a good starting place. You go, yeah, that's true. How can my life just go off the rails in this fashion so that I got this pile of dung of a life that just falls through my hands? And how do I get some consistency? And how do I stop my life from being sand that just falls through my hands and actually being a life with a foundation and a consistency to it? How do I do that? I think everyone's interested in that. Although it doesn't seem that way all the time. Yeah.
Do you remember, was there something that there was an event or a goal that you were working for, like you were talking about earlier, and Sam Ray was about that goal, and that you realized you kind of, might sound a little corny, but you actually started to enjoy the journey to the goal? Was there, I mean, do you remember that when you went, oh wow, I didn't need the instant gratification. I made a step towards my goal, and that was the joy for me.
Well, I think that one of the things that happened to me was at a real early on time in my sobriety, sitting still became my number one priority, like learning patience and learning to sit with myself. And I turned towards pain really early on. And I had read the right book, and it told me that pain is resistance to what is. And when I heard that, I stopped resisting what is. And I started through my father, and then through that book, I became huge on facing things like boredom and sitting, and my ability to be on an airplane for an hour and a half with no electronics and just sit there and lay in bed and be with my thoughts, and these type of things were like, that was the goal for me. How do I learn to be in here and be in here without needing stimulants? And I had a strong practice years ago in that. And that's what it was, meditation and all of it for me. And to me, pain was just a thing that I was learning to be in. And that got me better rapidly. That got me to stop even needing really goals. It wasn't, I was going to feel better then. I feel good now. And since that point, I've been feeling better and better for me. So the goal just became that, handle pain. And then life just became a practice. I'm going to do things for the purposes of understanding that when I do them, they're going to be difficult. And when I do difficult things, it doesn't go my way. And when it doesn't go my way, I'm going to resist. And then I'm going to be in pain. And then I'm going to learn how to handle more pain. And I took that on early. And I encourage anyone to take that on. Well, if pain got me here, not handling pain got me in this predicament, well, God damn it, I'm going to be the one person that can beat pain, because I ain't getting in that predicament anymore. And I made an agreement really early on that life, whatever you got, I can handle. I mean, whatever you got, there is nothing that it can do to me that will not make me just sit here with it. Nothing. You take my mother, you take my father. You can't do anything to me. I'm going to sit with the pain. And that's just the goal. I'm a pain.
Thank you.
I like it. I like to be a pain receptor. Not only do I want my pain, I'll take some of yours, please. Yell at me. Yeah, take it. I don't want to take. That's why I live here, because it's painful. Because listen, I don't even think I could live in my own place. There's not enough pain there. I go crazy. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I'd probably end up like, I don't know, 400 pounds. I don't know. Yeah.
Scooter.
I would eat my way to death. I don't know. But there's not enough pain in a room alone. So I need you to be in pain, and I need to take some of yours, and I need controversy and problems and difficulties and drama, and I need all of it. That way I can get stronger today. Pain is the gym. Mental pain is the gym. People go to the gym to get their muscles stronger. I keep my mind strong through mental pain. Give me more. That's what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. But there is no goal that I get to and then I'm going to not be in pain. Don't work that way. In fact, some of my vacations are more painful than my days. Because more shit happens here or whatever. So, you know. But see, you're one of those logic and reasons, Mama Bundle. You bring logic and reason, and you're a person that doesn't have the disease. You just don't. You're what you call normal. It says don't take with alcohol. She actually doesn't take it with alcohol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wonder what it does.
You know?
What if you do?
It says take one Percocet every 4 hours for pain. And she does.
She does.
You know? When it said take one every 4 hours for pain, that meant take the whole bottle and call them and tell them I lost it.
Yeah.
That's all that meant.
Not even leaving the parking lot.
I never even tried one. I knew one wasn't going to do it before I even took one. How crazy is that? I salt my food before I taste it. How's that?
You do.
Hey, I do.
You do.
I do. I can predict what that bullshit tastes like.
No, it's not salty.
You guys know that Angie sent me the other day a picture, a video of a salad bar that she made. She sent me a video of a salad bar, and she goes, we could do this every night. She said, look at how good this is. You should taste how good this is. Like I can't accurately predict what lettuce and celery taste like together. Like I'm looking at the video going, I don't even know what that would taste like. Man, I should try peppers and lettuce and celery all at the same time. I put all that shit on my plate with the steak and the baked potato. And then what I do is I scrape the salad off at the end of the meal into the garbage. And anyone that doesn't do that is crazy. See, I rationalize putting the salad on there because
It looks good.
it looks good and I still convince myself that I'm going to eat it.
Insanity.
That's the insanity that I am. But that salad's going in the garbage.
Yeah. Every
I might as well just get a big tongs, grip the salad and throw it directly in the garbage and keep that shit off my plate. You know? But again, I'm not normal. I do not wait at a red light if there's no cars coming.
No, that's not a good one.
These people down here want me to wait at a red light. They think I'm some type of trained monkey.
You said that.
I'm not no trained monkey. You can't just get me to sit and go because of your lights. I can see the intersection. I know no one's coming. I'm not sitting here like you're a trained monkey. Who do you think I am?
Bryce drives like that too.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Three left on red.
All right. Well, the comedy was extra special tonight.
Yeah, extra special.
Extra special. Not Kyle's, mine. If anybody doesn't have any questions, what time is it? I can close up. 8:30, yeah.
I have a comment.
Okay.
This is Lori.
Yes.
I was just okay, so I've always known about rationalization. I mean, I grew up a Mormon, so my dad explained all that, in the very beginning. Oh, you're just rationalizing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
How does that relate to procrastination and rebellion? Because what you're talking about, lots of rebellion, rebellion, rebellion. And I've noticed that in myself, but I would never I could be the last person on earth and I might not run that red light
Yeah.
because I was pretty well trained.
Yeah.
But procrastination, I mean, I swear I was born with that curse. I'm not even sure it's curable. Like,
Yeah, I know.
is due in 3 weeks. You start it the day before because now your juices are really flowing. You have that excitement and terror that you won't get it done on time. And apparently I thrive on that. But can is procrastination actually part of the rationalization?
That's
So
how you get to do it. Yeah. Yeah. That's how you get to do it,
100%.
But
do it in a day. I can do that in a day, blah, blah, blah.
I'm better at under pressure.
There's the rationalization right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And by the way, I did fold the laundry while you were talking.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
But
See,
I mean,
I'm helping.
I've always felt that you're saying that you are really good at this rationalization and it's a disease and blah blah blah. Well, I've always kind of been under the thought that we all have certain areas in our lives that we got it together. And then we all have these other areas of life where we're totally, rationalizing and blah, blah, and we just don't have, I mean, some people, they're all skinny, they're all dieting, they're never going to touch a cookie. But when it comes to some other part of their life, they're a total screw up,
Yeah, I didn't mention that part that I think everybody's got it. But
Yeah.
I think you do. There's a reason why 100% of New Year's resolutions have already failed this year. I mean, someone woke up on the 1st and said they were going to do something, but they rationalized it away by the 3rd.
Yeah.
I got hip to that bullshit the first year.
Yeah. Me too. I gave up those resolutions a long time ago.
It's way too silly. I don't know. That's for 20-year-olds or something. I don't know.
But I do like on the 2nd and 3rd when my behavior starts already deteriorating back to how it was on the 26th. I do have this bad feeling like I'm already fucked up all year. It's like only the 3rd. I'm like, well, maybe next year. You know what I mean? It's like the 3rd. I'm like, I was going to be better with money. I was going to eat better.
Well, and you talk about, seeking the pleasure over the pain and all of that, and that you really don't enjoy your day off if every day is your day off.
That's right. That's right.
I was just in my motorhome on a trip this weekend, and sure enough, the freaking slide got stuck halfway out after I've just spent mega hundreds of dollars. My first reaction is the wind is going 100 miles an hour. I'm stranded here. Oh my God, this freaking motorhome. I can never trust it. I can never leave home. I'm going to burn it down. I'm never going anywhere again. Ooh. Next day, I wake up, I crawl out there, I crank up gosh darn slide into the motorhome, and now I'm this powerful granny. And
That's right. That's right. All right. Beautiful night. It's a pleasure seeing everyone. We're gonna get back to our rationalizations now and start doing some bad behavior and excusing it. And then every now we're gonna call each other on it.
On those puppies.
Yeah. All right, Kate. All right, everyone. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
What's your
That's right.
your monkey?